Oh man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you were. Oh man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you were. Oh, hey guys, what's up? Guess where we're at right now? Well, you can probably tell we're in Conex. But since it's Mother's Day tomorrow, the boys and I decided to do something special for my wife. As you guys know, she's been kind of on me to get all of my stuff out of our mudroom in the back of the house and get it moved into the Conex. So that's exactly what we did. And now I actually have room to sit out here and play some guitar. And the acoustics aren't that bad, but let me flip the camera around and I'll show you what we got going on. Alright guys, before I actually turn the camera around here, I do want to kind of preface everything by saying the Conex is not clean yet. It's getting better. I spent all day today cleaning after I got off work. It's Saturday, again tomorrow's Sunday, Mother's Day. I always look at the wrong side of the phone. I'm holding my phone in my hand. The lens is over here. I keep looking over here. So sorry about that. I'll try to remember to look into the camera. But things aren't completely done in here yet. Far from it, actually. Until I actually do some projects and some work out here, I don't even know if what you're about to see is going to be the final configuration. A couple of things to note. Yes, the electrical is a mess right now. I built a compressor shack right outside the back wall of the Conex here for my Atlas Copco compressor. I did it again. I looked over there. Sorry. But I got the shack built. I got the compressor hooked up. I went to put power to it. As soon as I turned the breaker on, nothing. Breaker tripped instantly. So I knew that my wiring was shorting to ground somewhere. I just didn't know where. So I started at the breaker panel inside the Conex over here and took all the wiring down and looked for anything that was frayed or whatever. And of course, didn't find the problem until I got all the way out to the compressor. And I'll roll in a clip from a few weeks ago on another Saturday morning to kind of outline that and show you what I did. So, hey, good morning everybody. A very happy Saturday to you. Hope everyone's doing well. I went back in. This is my little compressor shack that I built. This is the back side of the Conex. This is a little compressor shack that I built for this thing, and I'm going through today trying to figure out why my breaker was tripping as soon as I turned it on. So obviously I had something shorted to ground. I just didn't know what. So I chased all the wiring. I started inside. And of course I found the problem once I got all the way out here. And what I had done, I'm just using this 10.2, actually it's 10.3, but I'm only using 3 of the leads. I'm using this MC cable, and what I had done, it's really tight quarters inside this this on-off switch / unloader valve. And what I had done when I was trying to get the ground hooked up and the 2 hot leads that go into the switch here, this MC cable, the outer metal sheathing had slid back. So when I tightened down the clamp here, I couldn't tell, but I was actually pinching right down on the wires. So my white hot lead actually got pinched to the point where it was exposing bare metal and grounding right to the connector for the MC cable. So I pulled another foot or so in here, trimmed everything back, cleaned it up, made sure that I actually had the outer sheathing engaged on this thing. And now I'm pretty sure that's going to solve the problem. So I'm going to flip the switch here for the first time and kind of show you guys what's going on. Fingers crossed. Yeah! Excellent. I'm gonna step inside and see how loud it is inside the Conex. Oh man, guys, I am so happy with the way this turned out. This is freaking awesome. It is so quiet in here. I mean, the compressor is right on the other side of this wall. And because of that shack and because it's outside the Conex, it is super quiet. You can, I mean, obviously I'm talking in a normal tone of voice and I have no trouble hearing anything in here. I mean, it's obvious that it's on. I mean, it's a 2-stage, 240 volt air compressor, 60-gallon tank, but it's going to make some noise, but really it's not bad at all. So please do not mind this gigantic mess. Obviously, I told you already I had taken all this down to chase the wiring issues, so now I'm going to take everything back apart, put a junction box up there again, get that cleaned up, and get all this wiring squared away. But I've got a freaking air compressor now. It's awesome. It makes me so happy. That turned out great. So that's going to make doing everything else in here a lot easier. The wires are still hanging down here. That has not been addressed yet. I'm working on that. Obviously, my door is not completely installed yet. Working on that too. So again, things are kind of a mishmash of craziness in here right now. But all of my stuff is moved in here. All of my toolboxes are in here. I got my workbenches and everything. My lathe, which is right next to me. I'll show you that in a second. My drill press and a few other surprises. So I will show you all that here very shortly. So stand by. Let me turn the camera around now. Ta-da, there's the wall, and there's Saber. Hey, buddy. Come here, buddy. There he is. What are you doing? Look at how big you are. You're a 90-pound fur missile. Don't knock over my 30-plus-year-old guitar, please. Let's move this. Okay. He's just about to turn 1, and he is a big boy. You are a big boy. Yes, you are. You whiner. All right, come on. Let me shoot my video. Go on. The wrong way. Come on. Good boy. Anyway, let me back this out a little. Hey, out. You can come back later, not right now. I can't hear anything over your breathing. Go on, go play. Go play with Riley. Okay, so we got that zoomed out. So, ta-da! Looky there. Now, the worst part of this entire thing right now is the middle, because that's where my existing shelves have been set up. And as the boys were moving stuff out here, they ran out of room on the shelves and just kind of started a pile in front of it. So I do have another set of shelves that has not been assembled yet. That's going to go on the far side of the breaker box there. But I'll start at the very end here and kind of walk you through everything we got. Here is my 1953 Logan 1805 metal lathe. It started out as an 1805. It's been modified to an 1815 now. But just a real brief synopsis. I bought this on Facebook Marketplace about, 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And the first thing I did was completely rip it apart, down to every last fastener. There was nothing that I did not take apart off of this machine. It got completely stripped. It got inspected. I repainted it with a color that I mixed myself. Let me move this VFD out of the way. And inside the gear train cover, that's the original Logan Gray, the blue-gray color from 1953. And out here, despite the dust, sorry about that, that's the color that I mixed. So that's a pretty dang dead-on match. It is not hooked up right now, and it's actually sitting on this old tanker desk that I was originally going to use for video editing. I bought another table, which I'll show you in a second, specifically for this lathe, but unfortunately, when I picked it up, I did not lay a straight edge across it, and the middle is caved in. It's an old transmission service table, so it kind of has a backward slant to it, and there's a drain back there in the back, which I thought would be perfect if I get a flood coolant system for the lathe. It'd just drain back there, and I could put a tank below it to recycle the coolant. But there's so much of a bow in the middle of that thing from people slamming transmissions down on it that you can't set a precision machine on top of that and have it be correct. So I'm probably going to end up resurfacing that table and weld another slab of steel on there. So that's what I'm up against right now. Anyway, going back to the lathe, this is not the final resting place for it, but it started out as a plain change gear machine, and I ended up scouring the earth, essentially, for all of the parts to do a complete quick change gearbox retrofit on this machine. And nothing has been hacked together. Nothing has been milled to fit. This is all OEM Logan parts that I found on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, various sources. And I've completely converted it to an 1815, which is a benchtop 10x24 metal lathe with the quick change gearbox. So Logan, after I was done with that, they made me this beautiful brand new quick change gearbox badge plate for all your threads and feed speeds and all that, and your lever position indicators. And they stamped it 1815 at my request. I mean, they didn't just do that for me. I had to pay for it, but it was only like $20, I think. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's enameled brass. And you can see the original tag there is 1805. And that one is marked 1815 because it has the gearbox on it now. But I had to find the gearbox, the clutch gear back here that made the gearbox gear ratio correct. This is a safety gear, so if the machine ever crashes, this clutch will engage and allow the gears to continue turning without the carriage moving, so I don't destroy anything, which is cool. Shortened lead screw, completely different automatic apron, completely different saddle. I was able to keep using my cross slide and all of that, so that's all the same. It does have a quick change tool post on it. It's got a Schar's 3-jaw chuck on it there. I do have a 4-jaw chuck for it, and the original Union little tiny 3-jaw chuck that came with it. But as part of the conversion process, all this had to be replaced because none of it will fit. It's all completely different. This is actually an oil bath assembly. So this is an oil tank here that lubricates this clutch. Then I had to get a different lead screw support bushing for the rear because on the automatic on the quick change gearbox machines, the lead screw actually sits a little bit further out because of the position of the gearbox over here. So you have to get pretty much different everything in order to make that work. But I did it. Spent tons of money, probably close to $1,000 on all the stuff to do it. But you know, that's in addition to the cost of the lathe and everything else, all the other modifications I did. I omitted the original 1/2 horsepower motor for this GE 1 horsepower 3-phase motor, which is driven off of this Lens Vector VFD, which is, again, not hooked up right now. I need to get some 240 out here for it. But this thing is fantastic, and eventually I have all the parts for it, but I'm going to have an emergency stop button, a potentiometer for my speed adjustment on the fly, and then a forward-reverse switch. So I'll be going into more detail on all of that later. But yeah, it's a beast. For a little lathe, it's a real beast, and everything's original, with the exception of the belts, which were thrashed when I got it. So I love this machine. That's my lathe. Put a lot of time, money, and effort, and blood, sweat, tears, and cussing, and everything else into this machine, but it's my pride and joy now. So anyway, that's that. This over here is the table that the lathe was actually on before, but as you can see, it's not very stable. Even with this, even with the adjustable feet on the bottom, I could never get it so it would sit there without moving. So every time I'd turn a handle on the lathe, it would just, whole thing would shake. So, and obviously you can see my absolute barrage of vises. Yeah, I have a problem. My kids are making fun of me for this. But I love these old machinist vices. This is an Athol 114X I just got done restoring, basically just stripping it and repainting it. This guy is an old Monarch lion's head that I bought specifically for that awesome lion's head casting on it. This guy over here is a Sawyer. This was made in Oswego, New York. So sometimes these are referred to as Oswego vises, but it's actually made by Sawyer Tool Company. This is old US-made Craftsman with a broken jaw. Both of these have broken jaws. We'll get to that here in a minute. And then this is a little Colombian 1045, and this is a little Powercraft that I got super cheap on eBay. And I call it my Bozo the Clown vise because I made the mistake of painting the base and the knob on the end here red to match my Powercraft toolbox. And I think it just kind of turned out stupid. So I'm probably going to end up stripping the base and the lead screw cap off there and repainting them with that same gray color. But moving along, we have our 1950s tanker desk there, which is actually really cool. It's an old typewriter desk, so it's got a spring-loaded shelf that comes out and pops up, so that's kind of neat. Down here, this is the original motor and switch for the Logan lathe that I took off in favor of that 3-phase deal. And this is a table for my milling machine that I don't have set up yet. More on that in a second, but guess what? I do have a mill now, which I'm very excited about. But this behemoth, I believe this is a 6-inch jaw vise, and I am 99.9% sure it's just a Harbor Freight special. I got this for free from my father-in-law when he was closing down his warehouse shop. But I've beat on it for 4 years now, and I haven't broken it yet, so it's been sitting outside, so it's got some surface oxidation that needs to be cleaned off, and I'm probably going to end up throwing some fresh paint on that just to make it look pretty, but And here we have my rigid 15-inch floor model drill press. This thing is a tank. I've had this for 5 years now, and it was pretty much everything on it was broken when I got it, and still is, but I do have one of the original handles here, the only one left. When we moved out here, all 3 of these handles were bent when I got it, but they were all attached. And when we moved out here, the monkeys that moved this drill press snapped 2 out of the 3 of them off. And of course, they didn't say anything to me, and I didn't realize it until I got it out of storage. So yeah, I'm gonna machine some new handles. These are metric, unfortunately. So I'm probably just gonna have to machine a shoulder down and use a metric die to get that right. Because I don't have the correct transposing gears for the lathe to do metric threads. I can only do SAE. So I could probably figure it out, but I just don't really feel like messing with that. So it does have a Palmgren two-way vise on it, but it's kind of a POS, so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue using that or not. Probably end up pulling that off and selling it just to get rid of it, although it is missing a lot of fasteners and stuff, so I'll have to do a little work on that first. And then just today I set up my Harbor Freight 20-ton shop press that I bought back in like October. It's been sitting outside in the box, and amazingly enough, it has very little rust on it for being out in the elements all winter and all spring. So it looks great. I just got it put together, and that's the hydraulic jack that came with it, and I upgraded to a 20-ton air over hydraulic jack. So now I can, once I get my air compressor, get some lines running here, I can use some air with that, and that'll make it go a lot faster. This is the table that I bought for the lathe, but unfortunately, because it's a transmission service table, it's very, very smashed right there. And you have to have at least close to perfectly level surface to put any kind of machine tool on it. You know, the castings on the feet of the lathe are very, very precisely machined. And if I try to set it up on here, it's going to end up making the bed twist. And that's not good. That's terrible for your accuracy, and you really increase the wear. So I'm not going to do that. So I have a big piece of sheet metal that I think I might be able to modify to fit on here. Or I'll just keep this as a welding table or something and just build another bench for the lathe. I'm not sure yet. More vises over here. I bought this with this ugly blue color on it, but you know, I intended to repaint it. But this is a Chaz Parker 953, and then this little guy is a Stanley Machinist vise that I have taken apart because I've been cleaning it up. I'm going to repaint that eventually. And here's my brand new Machinery's Handbook that is completely destroyed now. Well, not completely destroyed, but I am so mad. This is like a $100 book, okay? Sorry, mosquitoes are out. Got you little bastard. When we went on vacation last summer, we left and we did not realize that one of the like feral barn cats around here was hiding in our mudroom. It was behind some boxes. And we left and we were gone for a week, and we came back and that cat had destroyed our mudroom. Literally ripped all the blinds off of the window, pooped, peed, and just vomited everywhere. Ate my Machinery's Handbook along with a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, that cat ended up getting shot in the head. I love cats, but I don't like cats like that, that's for sure. And we have a problem with cats around here anyway. So, this is the Beast. This is my Ryobi grinder. Again, another gift for my father-in-law when he was shutting down his shop. This thing is a freaking beast. It runs great. I mean, it's had the absolute crap beaten out of it by his employees, and it's just an absolute tank. It runs super true and smooth, very little vibration. I ended up adding this LED from superbrightleds.com. I don't remember what the model number is on it, but it's actually a 12-volt LED, but it runs fine in here because there's a little step-down transformer in there that takes the 120-volt and steps it down to 12 volts, I guess. So I did order some new parts for this thing, including a cover for the bulb. So I'm not sure if that's gonna actually show up or not with everything going on right now. And here we get the mess of shelves and whatnot. This was kind of my gun cleaning station at one point, but yeah, it's a mess. I have more shelves I have to set up, then I'm gonna start going through all this stuff and getting it much more organized. Going back to the beginning here, there's the old 140C, old Power MIG. I got the Harbor Freight belt sander here, the little 1x30, and then I actually have a 4x36 Harbor Freight sander around here somewhere, but it's on the bottom of one of those shelves, I think. That'll get set up at some point. And here we have my 1968 Ward's Powercraft toolbox. I actually found this thing up at Old Bob's place, which is that secondary shop we used to use up on the mountain that just got sold, so we had to move all of our stuff out of it. But I found this thing laying on its side, drawers half open and rusted in place, full of old tools and crap. I mean, and I spent probably a month going through this thing, stripping everything, cleaning everything, getting all the rust off of it, repainting everything to basically match some of the catalog photos that I saw on like GarageJournal.com and in some other places on Google. And, you know, I spent a lot of time and put a lot of effort into this. Ordered some rivets that matched and got the special riveting tool. So I pulled all these chrome handles off and polished those out. There's still some pitting on them, but they're, you know, nice and shiny now. Re-riveted everything in place using the original rivets. And then I just had the lower box, but then on eBay last year, I found the upper. So I have the full set now. Now this is slightly older, and I don't think that this has been repainted. I think this is original paint, but I am going to strip this and paint it to match this guy eventually. But for right now, I mean, you can tell it's an exact match, but this is cool because it's a little bit older and has the Powercraft logo embossed on all the handles, which I think is super neat. Everything works, the locks work and all that. There's no key for it. But yeah, I'm gonna end up having a nice full double stack there. And then this guy. This is a late 1970s Snap-on KR555 that I got from a very good friend of mine in Denver. I actually just drove out there a couple months ago, right before this whole pandemic nonsense started, and he gave this to me for free. He's a lieutenant with the sheriff's office out there. He started at the sheriff's office the same time I started at my PD, so we kind of came up together, and we became really good friends, and he's just a salt of the earth great guy. Yeah, he's an extremely good friend. I don't have anything in this right now, but all the drawers open and close smoothly from top to bottom. And then you have this nice little side locker over here that he threw in with it. That's actually locked. I have the keys for that in my truck. But I'm going to end up repainting all of this and look for that to be posted on YouTube, because he just made me promise that if I was going to do a restoration on this, that I film the whole thing so he can see it. So that's that. And then down here, just a El Cheapo Husky toolbox from Home Depot that I got like 5 years ago, I think. And it's kind of a POS, but it works, you know. It is what it is. Lots of stuff to still go through in here. Lots of electrical to finish. Lots of power wires to run. Lots of messes here. Tons of Romex and all kinds of crap laying around. But the last thing I want to show you, I don't know if you can see that or not. Yep. I got a LMS 3990 high torque mini mill. So look for an unboxing video on that thing coming up soon. But anyway, progress is being made, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely nowhere near done yet, but we're getting there. So that's the end of the tour for right now. More to come. But before I go, I just want to mention something. I don't check my YouTube stats very much. Let me sit down. I don't. I never really got into YouTube with the intention of becoming some huge sensation or, you know, really doing anything. I just, you know, I find things that I don't find videos for on YouTube, and I try to make those videos so it helps other people. That was my whole impetus for starting the YouTube thing. You know, doing product reviews of things that are new, doing maintenance videos on things that, you know, haven't really been covered on YouTube yet. Things like that. You know, that's the reason that I started doing this, and then it just kind of, over the last 5 years, it's just kind of evolved into, you know, where I'm at now. You know, I started this when I was still living 2,000 miles away in Ohio, and here I am out in Nevada now. You know, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, going back to my stats, I haven't really looked at them in like months now, because I just don't really pay attention to it. So the beginning of last year, when I posted my original toolbox video for the U.S. General stuff that I have over in the main ranch shop, I had like maybe 150 subscribers. You know, cool. Even that kind of surprised me. I mean, I didn't really expect that many people to follow what I do. I checked again this morning, just out of curiosity, and I have over 450 subscribers now. That kind of blows my mind. And I know that's not a huge number by any stretch of the imagination when you got people with like, you know, 10, 15 million subs. But still, the fact that over 450 people actually want to watch my videos and pay attention to what I'm doing, it kind of validates the whole reason that I started this to begin with. So I just wanted to say thank you, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I really had no idea that, you know, that many of you guys would be interested in what I do and actually want to follow the channel, but it's kind of a good motivator to start putting out content a little bit more. Now, with everything going on, it's going to be kind of hard, but I'm still, I got a couple videos in post right now that I'm trying to get finished up, you know, some maintenance stuff. A four-wheeler maintenance video, a maintenance video on one of our trucks, you know, things like that. But it's just, again, I'm just kind of stunned that many of you guys actually subscribe to the channel. So that's really cool. Again, I just don't have the words. That's amazing. So again, guys, I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that real quick before I ended the video, because that is exceptionally cool to me. So I don't know where the channel is going to go from here, but the fact that, you know, that many of you are interested, and the fact that that many of you have actually subscribed to the channel, gone back and looked at my other videos, because my view counts are starting to go up on a lot of my other videos, and my watch time, you know, is actually skyrocketing, which is, you know, kind of crazy to me. But that means that you guys are not only subscribing to the channel because you like a video that I've posted, but you're going back and looking at other videos and you're sticking around because you like what you see. So to me, that's really cool. You know, again, I don't have any intentions of being some YouTube sensation or whatever, you know, having 1 million subs, but still, the fact that, you know, 450 of you are watching what I do is actually kind of cool. So again, I just wanted to put that out there, and thank you guys for your support. You know, I don't have a Patreon. I don't make money off of, I'm non-monetized. I don't make money off of this at all. And that's really not why I started this to begin with. You know, I've got a job. My wife has a job. I don't need to make money on YouTube. I just do this to, you know, kind of have fun with it. So that's why I don't post, you know, 2-3 videos a week. I don't say, all right, new videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. You know, that's not me. I post when I can. I record when I can. I edit when I can, which, you know, as the summer starts winding up, you know, I have fewer and fewer hours a day to do that. So, especially being the only mechanic here now. Anyway, guys, I'm going to shut up now and let you guys get back to your families and everything. It's Saturday night. Enjoy Mother's Day tomorrow with your wives, mothers, grandmothers, family members. Just have a great weekend. Thank you all for watching and subscribing. And if you like this video, click like. If you like the channel, look around a bit. Subscribe, see what happens. Hang out with me. Some cool stuff happening in the works. I have a lot of little projects planned, a couple of big projects planned for work. You know, I don't want to announce anything because I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but, you know, we'll see what happens. So, you know, if I have time to film and stuff, then I will. But for now, that's it, guys. I've been talking long enough. So, again, thank you. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.